morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kiera Perry. I am a senior here at Wenonah High School, and I also serve as the Student Government Association President. Before I introduce the other speakers, I would like to acknowledge a few people. First, our principal, Ms. Regina Hunter. Thank you, Ms. Hunter, for allowing us to join all over the city students of Birmingham in this campaign against violence. We love you, and we promise the students here at Wenonah will not let you down. Councilor Jay Roberson, we would really like to extend our thanks to you, Mayor William Bell, and also Superintendent Craig Witherspoon. Thank you for entrusting us and believing in us, and for bringing the idea of 100 days of no violence to our city. Finally, I'd like for all my classmates to stand up. Thank you for stepping up and being examples of leadership. And together with every other high school in the city, we're going to stop this senseless violence in our schools and in our communities. You may be seated. I would also like to thank the press for being here. So often you guys are faced with the challenge of balanced reporting, and I know the negative stories are hard to report. Well, today, we are going to make your job easy and give you the exclusive on the biggest story in the city, a new Birmingham movement led by students. Again, thank you. And today, we are glad we can all join together and be partners in this campaign. Allow me to introduce our speakers in the order in which they will address you. Our speakers today are Anthony Bailey, Kiera Cooper, Bianca Pearson, all seniors here at Wenonah High School. Councilor Roberson will come up and give closing remarks and answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Because of recent acts of violence in and around the Birmingham area, we the students of Wenonah High School, along with all of the Birmingham City High School students, are here to get our appeal to support the 100 Days of No Violence. Beginning October the 10th through Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday on January 17th, we are taking a stand to prevent crime in our communities, especially among the youth, by stopping to think, what would King do? By signing these pledges, which are being moved around our schools. We started in May when we marched for change at the 16th Street Baptist Church. Since then, we have attended the Pen or Pencil Conference in Atlanta to help address and prevent the dropout rate in high schools. Thank you. Coming next is Ms. Kiera Cooper.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This month, each high school will have pep rallies for a purpose, where we will celebrate the 100 days of no violence with the entire student body. We will join together in the month of November to serve those less fortunate. In December, there will be a town hall meeting to discuss issues that our youth face. In January, on Dr. King's birthday, we will join forces with all youth in the Birmingham and surrounding areas, law enforcement, civil rights activists, and community leaders to celebrate our history of change in honor of Dr. King. In these 100 days, we will keep it 100. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We will pledge to 100 days of no violence. I understand that by participating in this movement, I will hold myself accountable and actively involved with my peers and mentor in efforts to refrain from any acts of violence or negative behavior. In doing this, I am building the strength within the city of Birmingham to use historic efforts of youth service as the solution to address problems in our communities. Thank you for your support. Now, will you all join me in signing the pledge? Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's give these young people a round of applause. The leadership here at Wenonah High School, it takes a lot of courage to get up here and speak amongst your peers and amongst the cameras and the media. And it's these young people that have stood here today to make a pledge against nonviolence in the city of Birmingham and throughout this region. So Bianca, Kiera, Anthony, To all of you, thank you very much today for standing up and being a leader as young people in this community to address violence and crime throughout the Birmingham region. Thank you again. A couple of things I want to mention also is that we are thankful to the support that we've had throughout this process. Young people marched on May 3rd, symbolizing the Children's for Change March in Birmingham. Tremendous march, over 1,500 young people marched throughout downtown Birmingham, reinventing that crusade march. We've had other events. Young people, I think 30 kids went from Birmingham to Atlanta to meet with peers of their own that dealt with violence and crime with the Pen or Pencil program throughout the nation. There were other young people from Los Angeles, Atlanta, Chicago that were part of that. Anthony and Bianca and others were part of that program this summer. We're going to continue that. And on Sunday, we'll commemorate the first day of 100 days. Last night I had the opportunity to speak in front of a group of ministers, as I truly believe the spiritual leadership is needed if we're going to combat nonviolence. As Martin Luther King, Reverend Martin Luther King, as Dr. Shuttlesworth, during their young age as preachers, they stood up for nonviolence. We're asking that ministers across Birmingham, we ask ministers all across this region, white, black, Chinese, Japanese, whatever denomination you are, we want you to speak on a sermon or a message and share a message Sunday about nonviolence in our community. It is a pledge today that these young people are standing here to do that, and we're really appreciative of these young people and their leadership, but we need spiritual leadership also to be a part of this process. That being said, I'd like to thank other leadership in the city of Birmingham. Mayor Bell has endorsed 100 Days of No Violence. Dr. Craig Witherspoon, the superintendent of Birmingham City Schools, and the board members have endorsed 100 Days of No Violence. We've had others to come forth. Regina Hunter, hosting this press conference, is here to support 100 Days of No Violence. So we're thankful to Dr. Peugeot at the Civil Rights Institute, who has joined hands with the King Institute in Atlanta to work together with young people in Atlanta, young people in Birmingham, with the non-Kingian theory to address nonviolence in the city of Birmingham. We're looking forward to that partnership as the Civil Rights Institute and the King Center from Atlanta. And these young people will be a part of this program as the Kingian theory of nonviolence will be taught in a curriculum throughout our schools. Not only have these young people here pledged to be a part of nonviolence, there are 1,000 pledge sheets going around throughout the Freedom Choice Agreement throughout the Birmingham City School System as we speak to get commitment from young people in the Birmingham City Schools to say, hey, we're tired of nonviolence. We want to take care of our academics, our education, and move forward in the right direction and be successful young people throughout this community. So there's a lot going on as it relates to this 100 Days of Nonviolence. We will have events that will take place. The Hip Hop to Hip Hope will be the event in December. You hear me? Hip Hop, young people, to Hip Hope will be the event in December. And I have a special guest that we're going to have come to downtown Birmingham that you'll be entertained by as we deal with nonviolence in Birmingham. There are other major events that are going to take place, but they're going to feature our culinary schools and what they do in Birmingham City Schools and how much they can cook. And I love to eat as your council member. And now we're looking forward to programs like that that's going to take place. So this 100 Days of No Violence ends and commemorates on Martin Luther King. That is the 100th day, Martin Luther King birthday and holiday. That is the 100th day celebration. And on that day, we're going to come together as they did many years ago in downtown Birmingham by the thousands. Young people marched for a right for nonviolence. And it's our time now in this generation, the Joshua generation, you young people, 10 years from now, you're going to be some voters, you're going to be professionals, you're going to be working class young people in this community. And we want you to stand up and be a part of the process of combating nonviolence. So I am grateful to have young people. This is not about Councilor Roberson. This is empowering of young people in our community that are tired of seeing their peers go against each other, die day after day, fighting over non-useless things. It's time for young people that I'm looking at in this crowd that are leaders in their school system to step up and be leaders in this community. I just want to be an advocate, a voice of support, a leader for you to help you do the things you want to do, Anthony, and being a successful young man, Bianca, and being a successful accountant in this community. I want to make sure you do that because you are the future. You are the foundation for the future of this city and the city of Birmingham. So I'm very thankful today to all the young people who are here. There's a website that will launch on Monday called the BirminghamMovement.com. The BirminghamMovement.com. It would update you on events that will go on with the 100 Days of No Violence. And it's going to take some work. I'm not going to sit up here and say that we're not going to have a violent action take place in 100 days. I pray that we don't. But it's going to take young people, as you go through the school hallways, as you go to some social events, to let your peers know that we are tired of all the violence throughout the community. And this is just not in Birmingham, it's over the mountain too. I met with the Jefferson County Chiefs Association. They said we have the same problems in Homewood, Hoover, Vestavia, and other areas over the mountain. But it's up to you as young people to step up and lead this process. So I want to thank you all today for your leadership and being host to Councilor Roberson at my home high school, the Mighty Mighty Dragons of Wenonah High School. And being leaders in this school to take a pledge. It takes a lot of courage to make a stand and pledge against something. So I commend you, each of you, on doing that, and each of you out here for being a part of this 100 Days of Nonviolence. And we're going to entertain any questions at this point in time, and I'll be more than happy to answer them and let some of these young people talk. I'm tired of talking. Yes, sir.
For any of the kids, what was it that made you personally want to get involved? For any of you kids, just step up to the mic.
My name is Victoria Maston. I'm in the 12th grade, and I'm really not sure what I want to do yet. I was thinking about being an EMT, but what made me want to get involved with this is I hear about it all the time on the news, how some young kid has died because of like stupid things. We can't even go out to a place to have fun at night without somebody being killed, and I just don't like to hear about all that stuff, and the way that it's so much violence in the school, and how Wenonah is always getting reported on the news about something violent happening, and nothing. It's sometimes good stuff, but most of the time it's something bad, and all the fights going on, and just like he said, fighting over nonsense. It's just, I don't like it. And that's what made me want to join this, because I pledged to be nonviolent for the next 100 days and so on.